Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this? It's good. Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is March 10, and it is a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Boy, this is a real exciting Friday out here in Apex land. So the markets this morning have they have all moved. This NFP this morning was really good. The U.S. got very happy about that, and the Canadian dollar just soared. Their numbers were also good, so that's a good thing. And we've had some really nice trends in crude oil and YM, and gold also was very tradable today. It looks like with these indices, the one that was a little more herky-jerky than the rest of them was NQ, but all the other three were pretty much in lockstep this morning. The dollar is down on these good numbers, and the euro is doing a happy dance. So if you trade that pair, you should have had a pretty nice trend off of that this morning. Bonds are just rattling back and forth across settlement and they're not really tradable. But that's today. Who knows what another day will bring. Anyway, the big news in Apex land today is over the weekend. In fact, I believe there's a new toolkit that's been released. So when you get finished today, you might take a look at it. But tomorrow, definitely the order print will be released. And the educational seminar and webinar is on at 1 o'clock, I believe, Eastern. I posted the registry for it about 30 minutes ago. So it's up there. If you scroll up to about 11:30-ish, you'll find where to register for that. And yes, it will be recorded. If you're tied up tomorrow, you'll be able to access it off of the website. Also, I don't know, I haven't mentioned this for a while, and we do have some new people in here, but if you go to YouTube and subscribe to the Apex YouTube thing, you'll get an email every time there is a recording released or posted. So, I think we all owe an enormous thanks to Craig and Aaron for calling these numbers. And JP has called some too when he's available. But every single day without fail, Craig and Aaron have just been really on this. So thank you to you guys. I know you've, at this point, you feel like you've served your sentence. But it's very much appreciated. I tried calling those, and I just flat could not keep up with it. It was running away with me. So great job, and thank you for doing that. So just to be clear, on Monday, if you have been depending on them to call those mini magnets for you in those zones of interest, get over it, because you're going to have to do it yourself. The OP will be up. The good thing about it is it's complete, it's out, it's ready to rock and roll. Now all we have to do is learn how to get really good with using it. But it does take a little practice. But then, you know, what indicator doesn't take a little practice? So, that's our big exciting news. And I can't help but feel a little bit sorry for Ben. He's our big time programmer that knocked this out. He came and made the commitment that he was not leaving until this thing was pushed out, ready to go, and out for everybody in the room to have. So Ben is facing a 35-hour trip home today, which I do not envy him at all. My gosh, that's a long time to be traveling. But it's all done, and the other thing that's coming, and I'm hesitant to say when, because really and truly nobody knows when. I'm thinking maybe 3 to 6 months. But he did get 8 ready to push out to beta testing. So, you know, this stuff has been stacking up, and this is the way these things happen. I've noticed over the years with Apex, it's very much like like Lori's coil trade or these breakout trades. It all chops and just a whole bunch of stuff and then all of a sudden, bang, there's a whole bunch that just burst through. So, and yes, Ben is returning today from central part of the U.S. to Brisbane. And he had to go to Atlanta to get a flight. He did get a flight directly to Brisbane, but then he's got a drive from there too. So that's a long trip. Oh, I just shudder. Anyway, these NFP numbers. This is kind of set a new benchmark for the U.S. economy, I think, and hopefully it can continue on with this. So the good news is that Monday morning we're not going to have much U.S. news. At 9 o'clock is the labor market conditions index, which is not a huge big deal, but this will give us probably a little quieter Monday morning. Maybe. You never know. I mean, depending on what geopolitical fiascos hit the news wires over the weekend, but that we can kind of focus on the practical application of this OP. So stay tuned for that. And then next week, the big deal next week is FOMAC. So on Tuesday morning, we'll have a little bit of news, not huge, until we get to Wednesday. Oh my goodness. Wednesday, we've got all kinds of 7:30 in the morning releases, and then we have the FOMAC. They're going to make a statement, release the Fed funds rate. We'll know if they are going to raise it. I think the smart money is on the side that they probably will, but we'll just have to see. Now, the other thing everybody must absolutely be aware of, the time changes in the U.S. on over this weekend. So this is where we spring forward, and we're all going to be getting up earlier next week. I mean, I think we are. And this is one of the reasons that it's really important. Daryl is a big proponent of setting your computer to Eastern time. And I think everybody's got a feature on their computer with that time setting where you can have it automatically catch the daylight savings time changes. So you don't have to fool with that. I would also suggest that sometime before Monday, you reboot your modem just to make sure that everything is all captured in your computer. The reason that we suggest this is, number one, it gets all of us on the same page with our charts, and when we share our charts, that one of the big things in trading that a lot of people, especially when they're new, don't pay very much attention to is the time of day. You see this and you see that, and why didn't this work and why didn't that? Well, if it's the time of day where there's no volume, that might have something to do with it. But when your chart says 7:30 and everybody else's says 9:30 or 10:30, it's way too much for people in the room to be moving back and forth. So if we all stay on the same page, Eastern time, then nobody gets caught with thinking the news numbers are going to be released at a certain time and find out that you either missed that or had a trade on that you didn't realize the news was going to hit there. So thank you, Craig. Craig just posted, I know I posted this real early this morning, and Craig posted it about mid-morning, and now it's up again with the US and the UK daylight savings time. If you are in other parts of the world, you'll have to find what that time change is and adjust your life and your trading accordingly. But this is really important. I strongly urge you all to have your computer on Eastern Time, US, with the button of daylight savings time automated, so you don't get caught. Engage that button. So anyway, between getting OP over the weekend and having FOMAC next week, we should have some pretty exciting times this next week. So if you have not nailed down the chart that you like to work with and the strategy that you like to work with, that might be worth spending some time over the weekend or the rest of the afternoon here to really secure that and get make a sticky note, or somebody this morning had a great idea. They made a background for their computer monitor with their rules. It's automatically on there. That's not bad, because the subliminal transference of that information into your brain is it's really important, because the more you can get this stuff sunk in to the point where it's like driving a car, you don't really even think about it. You just get in the car and go. So you sit down and there's either a trade or there's not. You either take it or you don't, but you don't sit there wringing your hands and scratching around and, oh my goodness, it has to get automatic, and your rules just have to be right there, top of your mind. So anyway, this webinar will be at 1 o'clock